Gerry, welcome on the show. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Alejandro. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's get to know you. Tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Gerardo Cea. That's my real name. People call me Jerry because Gerardo was kind of a difficult for people to understand my name in New York when I started in 1993. I mean, sorry, 1985. I started working as a busboy, and then I become a waiter. And in 1993, together with my mother, my father, and my brother, we opened Prima Pasta with 28 seats. This Italian restaurant is located in North Beach. And when we opened the restaurant, was pretty much nothing in the neighborhood. So we start from zero, and that's pretty much my life. I got into the restaurant by mistake. So here I am after 30 years.
By mistake, meaning because your family started and you got stuck with it?
Well, no, because I came to United States. I was in love with cars and with New York and Miami. Looking at the movies and pictures, and I told my parents that I really want to go to United States. So we came over for pretty much a vacation, and I didn't want to leave. So my uncle find a place for me to work in New York, and I start working in the restaurant business in 1985, and then I got stuck there.
What was your first restaurant that you worked at?
It's the first restaurant. It's like a mafia movie because I they put me to work in this restaurant as a busboy, and this restaurant, the name was Tonino's restaurant, and I find out after that it belongs to the Gambino family, and there was like the Godfather, the mafia in New York City. They have like a lot of restaurants, and this was one of them. And so it was like a amazing experience because I really learned the restaurant business. I learned from the other people mistakes. Try to do the best, and every time they teach me something, the Italian will say, hey, if you don't do this like this, you are out.
Ouch.
I needed to work because I told my parents to come to United States with me, and then we lost the visa. We become illegal for 2 years until we become legal, and was very hard at the beginning. But I really learned the business. And my father too. He was a chef in a different restaurant. My mom worked for the Christopher Walken's bakery. The actor from Hollywood. His mom has this bakery. So we all work in different restaurants and learn.
Awesome. What a story.
Yes, it's a great story.
So originally, where are you from?
I was born in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, in South America, and my parents too. But my grandparents, they were born in Calabria, in the south of Italy. So,
Nice.
like,
Very similar. I was born in Peru, but my grandparents are from Italy, from Emilia Romagna, from more the north area.
oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So you are celebrating 27 years. So congratulations, right? It's
Hey,
27 years. That's a long time. Congrats.
it's a long time. Thank you so much, Alejandro. Uh, it seems like yesterday. And it's funny because you know how I started this restaurant, Prima Pasta? Thanks to the owner of this restaurant that I was working, that he kicked me out because he was very jealous about me because everybody asked about me. And then one day he saw me working for a year. That I was like Speedy Gonzalez, saying to everybody, "Welcome, welcome, hello," and and then one day he says, "I'm sorry, you have to go." And I was very sad that day. And I called my cousins, and I drove my car and parked close to a movie theater, and when I'm walking through to the to go into the movie theater, I saw the location for rent. That was Prima Pasta. Then my life changed.
Wow. So at the time, it may not seem like a good thing, but you never know what these things bring out of us.
I was very sad that day, and then my life changed the same day. And then I called when I opened the restaurant, I called this guy, and I said, "Man, you know what? I really want to thank you because you give me a job. You really give me the job, and thanks of you that you know took me kicked me out of the restaurant. That was the most beautiful thing that happened to me." And the guy just he don't understand anything, you know.
It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So from that day, 27th Freedom, can you give us a little bit of that history? You mentioned is your mom, your father, and your brother.
Yes. So when I rent the place, the kitchen was ready, and all I have in my mind was pictures, black and white, and I wanted to have a nice tablecloth. I wanted to have music and a very beautiful light coming to the table. I didn't have any money, no money at all. My saving was around $8,000. So I started buying all used tables and silverware, everything used, and my mother in the kitchen with my father, and then my brother joined me to work together, and we didn't know anything about owning a business. So we got everything ready, and we opened the door that first day, October 27, 1983, and the restaurant got super full. And I remember uh, it was crazy, when my father started bringing the food out, and people were tasting the food, and everybody was saying, "Wow, this is great." I was playing the music from the Bee Gees, and nice dim light, and so from that day, we never stopped. And there was a lot of, the 1 week after we opened, Madonna show up, my favorite group of music, the Bee Gees, they show up, and was like no stop. Everybody wanted to go to Prima Pasta. It was around 28 seats, and was around maybe 100 people waiting outside to get in. It was like really out of control. And from that day, never we started investing the money in the restaurant, making it more comfortable. And then we were lucky in 1999 to buy the property. And so that was a long journey.
So the quality of the food was what brought people. It's like from starting to having all these people show up all of a sudden, it must have been pretty exciting as a
Yes,
as a restaurateur.
very excited, very excited. And let me tell you, there was a lot of stress because
No doubt.
my father, we were working I swear to God, 18 hours a day. It was like we needed to buy the food preparation, and then serving was like crazy. But the attention was these few different things. The food, amazing. The service, let's say this, you were eating at the restaurant, and then maybe if I turn around and you pay the check, and when you were leaving and you are 1 block away, I will run after you to say goodbye. So the service, the atmosphere, the food. And then there was a lot of people that they drove by, coming from Bell Harbor, or these two main streets, and they saw a lot of people outside, and that was the most best advertising, word of mouth.
Yeah, people drive by and I'm like, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
If
yes,
it's outside a restaurant and it's a super good line, I mean, I'm like, this must be good.
yes. And then I have this a friend of mine that I will call him. I said, "Please, here's 3 bottles of wine. You just give wine to everybody for free, outside, people waiting." So that was crazy.
That's a great marketing tool. Hey, I went to this restaurant and I was waiting in line, and then some dude came up and gave me wine. That's what
Yes,
you do.
and some people, they got drunk because they want to drink more, and they're waiting for the food. So it's crazy.
Okay, so that builds only good experiences.
Yes, exactly.
So the quality of the food and the customer service, you would say, are really pillars of Prima Pasta.
Yes, yes. And one this for me it was very important, the atmosphere. For me, when it gets dark outside, I really need to have the place, with the lights. I have different lights, like the walls lights are always red, and then there is a light coming to the table. It needs to be dim so the candle will work together with the light, and that atmosphere with the music and the chandeliers, and that really what made me feel comfortable for me to work.
If it makes you comfortable to work, but what you're telling me as a as a person that would goes to restaurants and stuff like that, it sounds to me like a very intimate, very romantic place. Like
Exactly.
I'm the first once you started describing, I'm like, I need to take someone on a date there now.
Yes, yes, yes. And another thing is there's a lot of people who come by themselves, and remind me to my story, because I will love to go to a restaurant by myself. Sometimes I like to be by myself before, and I will go to a restaurant and start enjoying the food. And there's a lot of people who come and they say table for one. And when that happens, I always tell the people who run the door, don't you ever give someone a small table. Just make sure you give them the best table in the house. I don't care if they take a table for 4 or for 6. Just want to make sure that person by themselves is the best, and always looking at the door so he can see the show, or they can see the show. Some secret.
Cool. Cool. I have gone to eat by myself sometimes. It's super fun. Now, some people find it, this weird, but to me, no. To me, I
No,
enjoy sometimes just going and enjoying the ambience and the location.
that
And
my wife, she says I can never go by myself. Never. Sometimes she plays a paddle, and she go do a sport, and I just go by myself and I sit and like a king.
So you mentioned some celebrities. You mentioned some names.
Oh yes.
I don't know
You
if you
know
could
that
share a couple of other names of people that have gone and visited your location.
the in all these years, all the sport people, like the Miami Dolphins, like Miami Heat, uh, all of them, they show up at the restaurant. And then in when we opened Prima Pasta, one day Cindy Crawford came over with this old man with white hair, with suit, an old man with like a very dark face, and with a suit, and all young people, including Cindy Crawford, like very good looking guys and girls. And the guy told me before he was leaving, he said, "Listen, I'm going to send you all my people." And from that day, Sylvester Stallone, uh, John Travolta, uh, so many people from the movies, musicians. He was a producer. Where I don't know what his name. I never look for. I remember his face. I don't know his name, but he sent me picture of Cindy Crawford sign, and then musicians. A lot of musicians from the different bands, and from Iggy Pop, David Lee Roth from Van Halen, Lenny Kravitz. We become friends. Prima Pasta. Um, uh, Michael Bolton. Pretty much because all the music producers, they will come to Prima Pasta to sign contracts with different musicians. All the labels like Sony, Warner, was crazy, crazy, crazy. So many people, and it took me like uh, to write all the names. It took me to like a week, and I have to call all the employees that work at Prima Pasta. They work now and they work before to help me out to write all the names, and we come out with like 400 different names, and I didn't know about some stars they show up.
So is there like a special plate you feed them or you serve them that makes them fall in love with this place? It's like, do
You
you
know,
know it's like, oh, this guy's important. Let's give him the special one.
the one thing that these people like. Oh, the Jackson family, all the Jackson family, all of them, they come over.
Cool.
And I always wanted to do something for the celebrities, and this was, I wanted to sit them in the middle of, next to anybody, but I will make sure that nobody bother them. And for more than 10 years, all the magazines and from Argentina, all the guys who will take pictures, they used to hate me because they wanted to even give me money so they can come in and take pictures. And I didn't let them do it. I say, listen, do me a favor, wait for them outside. When they leave in, just take the pictures. So I will see them, and I will treat them the same way of the other customers, but trying to save them, like people coming over to bother them and asking for pictures, and then try to do the whatever they order and give them good service.
Fair. And I'm sure they appreciate that 100%.
Yeah, the only people they want privacy that in the story of Prima Pasta was the Miami Heat, because they after they play, all of them, they will come and come. We have a back door, and we have like a little private room, and I will close the room and just they will eat. And it's funny because Michael Jordan, he started coming to Prima Pasta and then sending all these players. And because Michael Jordan, he loves the chicken Parmesan, and it was funny because all of these guys, they come and say, I want chicken Parmesan like Michael Jordan. Like even some players
That's
from Heat, I want the chicken Parmesan with Michael Jordan. What else? What else Michael Jordan eat? They said.
whatever you.
Yeah.
So now you heard it, guys. The chicken parmesan is something to try.
Yeah, that we have this pasta. It's a fiocchi pasta. It's a pasta stuff with pear and cheeses, and the sauce is like an Alfredo sauce, but we toast some prosciutto and truffle oil, and then we slice pieces of from a pear, and all that combination, it's an amazing flavor, and it's great. We do like, for example, appetizer. You can do a little pasta and then have another dish, and that works really good.
That sounds amazing. This is a great segue. What does the menu look like? Let's keep doing this. Talking about the menu, you're doing
So,
great. You're making me hungry.
yeah, the menu has been the menu is been the same for all these years. Like we have the appetizer, we have like antipasto, beef carpaccio, fried calamari, few different salads, and we have meatballs with ricotta, eggplant parmesan. We have a small plate of the pasta that I told you, the fiocchi,
Mhm.
and then we have around 12 different pastas. Some of them with seafood, another one's stuffed pasta, and then the traditional, spaghetti with clams or seafood. And then we have two fish, veal parmesan, chicken parm, veal piccata. But I always say the menu is like a little, like a fantasy thing that you see, because behind that, there are 27 years of different specials. And then we have people coming over and they say, oh, I was here 10 years ago and you make me this fish with crab meat on the top. And then sometimes I need to go to I have this book with all the specials. And then I see, fish with crab meat and a white wine with basil. So I go to the kitchen, hey, make me this. So many specials.
So awesome. So how can I order like a professional? Well, now that I know that your place sounds to me like a great place to take a date. So how can I go there and impress a lady?
I always tell people when they come the first time, I say, let's say that you want a special, like the most expensive, let's say it's around $45, the most expensive dish of prima pasta, which is so big that two people can eat from there. So, and then I come out with this idea to charge $45 to a person, but I will make them taste pretty much a little bit of everything. For example, you come over and I give you the tasting menu for $45, and I give you 2 little pieces of ravioli. You finish that. A little fried calamari, small, a little bruschetta, and then a little piece of veal piccata, and then a little risotto porcini mushrooms. And I keep asking you until you explode. You know, it works until people stop me. I have people that say, "No, I'm sorry, I can't do anymore," and some others say, "Okay, what else?" And then I have to come up with, "Okay, 2 shrimp. I bring you 2 shrimp with lemon and capers." And until sometimes we have couples and or 2 people, and one said no more, and the other one, yeah, one more dish. So it's maybe around 8 different dishes.
That's
And,
awesome,
right?
though.
Yeah, that's really good. And you can try. Sometimes you go to a restaurant and you see the menu and you need to order one dish, and that's kind of boring sometimes.
Yeah, the max you can do is be like, "Hey, you order something, I order something, and then we share it." That way,
Exactly.
we both eat the same thing. I've done that many times.
Yes.
We both eat something different in the
But
restaurant.
the way that we're doing, like tasting menu, 45 per person, and this is 45 including the dessert.
Sounds to me like a
So
good deal.
yeah, and then I need to give you a shot of limoncello, so everything. And then I tell you, hey, go walk around the corner and come back. Just kidding.
For those that don't know, limoncello is a liquor-ish
Exactly.
cold.
We made it at Prima Pasta. Limoncello started in Calabria many years ago, and we make limoncello in 1994. Nobody knew anything about limoncello back in that time, and so they gave me the recipe, and I started doing it because we were buying sambuca, and we were spending so much money giving away sambuca. So we peel the lemon, we dip it in alcohol, 151 alcohol, and leave it there for 40 days until the lemon is white and all the color of the lemon is on the alcohol. And then you take water with sugar, and then you do the mixing, and then you got the limoncello. Very easy and digestive.
Easy now that you break it down for us, but
Yes.
without knowing that, it was like, how do people don't know?
And there is a crazy story. We almost got killed at Prima Pasta the first time we did limoncello because and from Argentina, they told me, they give me the recipe, and they say alcohol. So I went to buy alcohol, like to the pharmacy. And
Oh, like actual, like for like wounds.
yes, and that was terrible. When we did the mixing, everything exploded pretty much on fire. Uh, was very, very bad, and the smell. So we waste 40 days. We throw everything out, and then in Argentina, this restaurant, they say, "No, you crazy? You need alcohol from to
to
do
drink.
liquor." That was very bad.
That's pretty cool, though. I was gonna ask you if there are any off-menu items, but it seems to me like there's flexibility to make even specials that you've done years ago.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, that's one problem that we have, because sometimes it gets very complicated. The kitchen, because you have one table telling you, okay, I want spaghetti with garlic oil and spinach and shrimp, and start making this. And we've been saying yes for so many years, and then I have all the people that like a veal rollatini. My father, he started making this veal rollatini like 12 years ago, and still people now, they know, they call, listen, I'll be there tomorrow, can you make me veal rollatini? Sure, no problem. So we do that special that day, veal pounded with prosciutto, mozzarella, spinach, pine nuts. We roll it, we bake it with marsala wine sauce. So it's a lot of different specials.
So tell me about your team.
Okay, the team, I learned through the years that I needed to have something different from other restaurants. And for example, the kitchen, because my father and my mom were the creators of it, the the kitchen, all those dishes. Um, we have 6 people or 7 people in the kitchen, and they all are like little chefs. There is no uh, other names. They are their own chef and their own manager of their own stations, and it's working really good. So the back of the house, they are all little chefs. The dishwasher team, they've been there for a long time, and they make pretty much almost like some cooks around town. And so that's my team. I like to be really good friends with the dishwashers or with anybody. There is no difference because I lived that before. Some restaurant they say, no, dishwasher, go clean that, and it doesn't work uh, like that at Prima Pasta. So the team for me is very special at the back of the house. And in the front, I like to teach busboys and waiters pretty much the same. And so we create this beautiful team of busboys, waiters. The bartenders are like brothers to me. We learn together. One of them he started working 18 years ago as a dishwasher, and then one day
Awesome.
he told me, I always wanted to work at the bar or work in the front. I said, okay, so let's go. Let me find somebody else in this position. Come with me to the front, and so we have people. They've been with us 25 years, 20, 18, 15, and it's a beautiful, beautiful team. Um, this the pandemic and everything what happened in the last month, we lost few of them because some of them something happened to families around different places of the world. And by the way, one of my favorite people that he started with me 27 years ago, and Coco from Peru.
Ah,
Coco from Peru, and he will he left because his father was very sick and he went back to Peru after so many years. But he's very happy, and I'm happy for him. So the team is like this. Is very well connected. Is a daily meetings every day. There is a little meeting so we connect each other. And I always tell them, if you want to try something, you let me know. You can try it. I don't want you to if you want to eat something, you want to taste this wine, let's do it. So that's the team about.
it's always good to, as a student in management, it's always good to see signs of good team leaders and good owners and good managers. Like, you seem like you take care of your team and you want them to explore and grow if they're interested in another area. So I think that's awesome.
Yes.
You mentioned your mom and your dad were like the core behind the beginning of the food and the recipes. Was there a combination of like family recipes? Was there a combination of experience? Because your dad was a chef, you mentioned, right? So I'm sure
Yeah.
he learned a lot as well. That inspiration behind that initial recipes, where did it come from?
Okay. So when I work in these Italian restaurants, I have these favorite dishes that I really love, and I say one day I have the restaurant and I want this. I want the chicken parmesan with this flavor. I want the linguine white clam sauce. So my father, he was working in so many different restaurants. He got so many different recipes, but when we were kids in the house, every time that we would make pasta or pizza or anything, meat, fish, was amazing. So the secret and all that combination, what he learned, what I like, what my mom learned, and what her parents cook for them, that combination of that Italian Argentinian, we create that menu with that combination. Things that he like, things that I like, and that was the way that he cooked. Because for example, some he likes to boil the pasta and then take it really al dente and finish the cooking inside the sauce. So when you have that pasta, you have that extra flavor, and so that was, and then fresh ingredients. Sometimes I always talk with my father and I say it's better that we run out of food at 10 p.m. instead of having things that we need to throw away or leave it for tomorrow. So that's another thing. The fresh stuff, daily deliveries, every day, the fish, the vegetables. So that was the simple. I always say, with my mother and my father, simple things in life are the most magical. Sometimes you can do create, crazy dishes, but the simple flavor, that's the simple pasta with butter and the right cheese, or a pasta with garlic and oil. Every time we have someone who wants to come to work at the restaurant and say, okay, make me a pasta with garlic and oil, the most simple things, and then that's where the come.
It's like those chefs that say, "Fry me an egg."
Yes, correct.
Also, I can definitely see why that is definitely a secret to the success, that care and that development. I can definitely see that. So I know that we're running out of time, and I want to thank you for joining us. I have one more question for you. What is your favorite part about Prima Pasta?
The favorite part is when I first of all, I like to be in two different places. I like to be in the front, and when people coming in and they start sitting, and I like accommodation, try to see they're happy, and that's my favorite part, And when I see the dishes coming into the table, all I really enjoy that, and I like the first timers, people who come for the first time. I drive them crazy.
Is there like an alarm or something for the first timers?
If I find out it's your first time, I start sending you things, Bellini, this and that, and then the other part is to go to my back office, which I have all the instruments. I have drums, guitars, and sometimes I take a break and I go there and start playing the guitar.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Gerry, this has been a great conversation. I am very happy to have had the time to speak to you and to learn about Prima Pasta. I am excited for my first time.
When you coming?
Soon.
You have to do the tasting menu.
You got it. That's like my first thing. I made a note.
Don't eat for 2 days.
You got it. I'll be in ayuno.
Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.